Good morning, guys, and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Sydney, and I just want to apologize that, one, it's been so long since I did my bump date, because this is going to be for weeks 15 and 16. During week 16, when I would have done my week 15 update, I have been really sick for like 3 weeks, so my voice has been not doing very well. My throat has been really sore and really dry. I went to the doctor, and it was just kind of a whole mess. So I didn't end up filming the updates because I could barely talk. It was hard enough for me to get the last 2 unboxing videos out that I did, and I just put it off. So today I am already 17 weeks, but I'll be doing my 15 and 16 week updates. And I'll also be answering a question that was left in the comments for me on my last bump date video. Excuse me. So if I'm coughing and I drink water, I'm so sorry, guys, but I'm just still not 100%. So week 15, really nothing new happened, other than I started getting sick. I kind of just like woke up one day and my throat was like really dry. It was really hard for me to like swallow anything, like my spit. It hurt to swallow my spit. My lymph nodes or, whatever were like really swollen. And I just felt like overall like super crappy, which isn't exactly pregnancy related, except for that when you're pregnant, you have a lower immune system, and I already have a terrible immune system with my heart. So it was even lower, so more susceptible to getting sick. I did go to the doctor during that week after it had been a couple days, and I was getting like worse and not better. And I didn't know what kind of medicine I could take to try to help. So it was just this whole thing that I was just like super nervous about taking anything. And so I just went to like one of those urgent care clinics, and the guy basically told me like, you can't really take anything. You just have to suck it up. He suggested that I start trying to have a spoonful of honey at night before bed, because he thinks that my heartburn during the day from the pregnancy is turning into acid reflux at night, which is basically heartburn, except for where stuff kind of like comes up, and when I'm sleeping I don't notice it, so it's coming up and like sitting in my throat and like eating away at the lining. So he said if I take honey at night to kind of help coat the throat, but the thing is that only lasts for so long, so it really wasn't working. So I only did it a couple times because like it coats it, but then after a small amount of time it goes away. It's not like it's protecting my throat for the whole night. He also said I couldn't have like any kind of good cough drops. I had to take throat drops, nothing with medicine in it, no cough syrup, nothing like that. So it was a whole drag. I was like coughing, like disgustingly coughing, like coughing things up. It was disgusting. It has been a long 3 weeks of being sick, and I am just so glad that I am definitely on the side of recovering now, just not 100% better, but yeah. So week 15, that was really like the biggest thing, is like being sick and my voice just like starting out like not good, and then just getting like, I literally was squeaking. I was whispering to talk to my husband, like talking to him like this, because if I tried to talk, it sounded like a little mouse. Like it was terrible. It was horrifying. Yeah. And then I didn't have any doctor's appointments. Week 16 was my throat starting to get better, and then kind of like getting worse, and then like starting to get better again. So still just kind of like being in that sick feeling, and then being in that like overly tired from being sick feeling, which I'm already tired and out of breath because I'm pregnant. So it was just a fun sickness time. And then I wasn't really eating a whole lot because, basically because everything hurt to swallow, so I was eating very specific things and just trying to like drink a ton of water, which I already drink a lot of water, or I try to, because being pregnant, you're supposed to. But I was trying to like drink even more water because it was like the only thing that helped, because every time I like took a sip of water, it would wash the stuff that was like in my throat down, so I couldn't just like feel it sitting there and then seconds later start coughing it up. It was really bad. I was like coughing so hard I was making myself throw up from coughing, which is disgusting, and I'm sorry guys, but this is a pregnancy update, so there's gonna be things that are gross during this journey. So yeah, so that's really all that was happening, like for me during those 2 weeks specifically. I did go to the doctor, like I said, during the 15 week, and when I went, they did take my weight, and I was at just under 115 pounds. I was like at 114.78 or something, so you could just say 115, which my starting weight when I very first found out that I was pregnant, like when I got the positive test, was 114. I did lose some weight at the beginning. I dropped down to 111, and then I obviously came back up to 115. So overall, since the beginning, I had only gained 1 pound, technically for the pregnancy, but obviously losing weight and then gaining weight, dropping down to 111, I gained 4 pounds, but they're kind of looking at it from the original starting weight of 114, so I only gained 1 pound, which I think during your first trimester, and obviously I'm not in my first trimester, but they say it's like within acceptable ranges to gain like 2 to 5 pounds, and obviously that's a guesstimate, that's like a basis. It's different for everybody. Like I said before, my doctor told me that I should gain 25 pounds at like absolute max for this to be considered like a healthy weight pregnancy, because I'm such a little person. I'm hoping that that's not like an issue, since I haven't like been crazy gaining weight or anything, but I do know that a lot of people have said once you get closer to the end, like the 3rd trimester, and the baby is growing super fast, that's when you end up putting on a lot more weight. So we will see. If I gain 60 pounds, I gain 60 pounds, you know? I mean, obviously, that's not what we're going for here, but yeah. I don't think that you always have 100% control of what's happening to your body during this time of your life, so other than that, really no other updates. The question that I was asked on my 14-week bump date was, have I had any like TMI or embarrassing symptoms during pregnancy, like a lot of gas or farting, or anything like that? And the answer is yes. As far as like gas goes, I have not like had an incredible amount of burping, but I definitely have had a lot of gas bubbles that put a lot of pressure on my stomach, and they hurt. And I've had to take the generic version of Mylanta, which I could have taken Mylanta, but it was like $8, and the generic version was like $2.97. So obviously I bought the generic version, which I don't recommend because it tastes like you're eating a mint with Fruity Pebbles at the same time, and it's disgusting. So whoever decided that that was a good flavor, you're wrong. Horrifying. But it worked. It helped relieve gas bubbles. I've definitely had a lot of pregnancy gas. Like as far as farting goes, yes. I'm way gassier than usual. And to me, pregnancy gas has a different smell than it does usually. I don't know if it's like everything that's going on in there or whatever, but it's been fun. Luckily, my husband is not like shy about that kind of stuff, so it doesn't bother him. But I definitely like get embarrassed if I have to like, if it happens and I'm like out in public somewhere, and then obviously, you know, you try to like not do it, but sometimes you can't really hold it in. But yes, that's been a thing. The other, like, I guess kind of embarrassing thing that I guess, like, isn't really embarrassing, but it kind of is whenever I get even the slightest bit cold, like literally 80 degrees outside and a cool wind blows by, my nipples get so hard, which that's not the embarrassing part for me. That's fine. It's not like people don't know I'm a girl with boobs that have nipples. Like, that's fine. Problem is that as soon as they get that, like, weird hardness from me being cold, they burn like crazy. And then I'm, like, trying to, like, warm them up. I'm, like, putting my hand in my shirt, and I'm trying to, like, this because they hurt so bad, and I'm trying to, like, put the pressure on the nipple and relieve the pain. And, like, that's the embarrassing part, is because I'll be out somewhere and then I just, like, look like a crazy person, like, trying to figure out how to warm my nipples. Yeah. So that's been fun. Also, sorry to anyone watching this. Again, gonna be some TMI stuff. So, since being pregnant, you also have less control of other things. So sometimes I sneeze and I pee a little bit. You know, it's usually not like crazy, like a couple drops, you know, but I like do the cross your legs and try to, and it doesn't always work, or, you know, cough too hard like from being sick and I pee, and it's been fun. But that's all part of the journey. It all seems to be very normal. A lot of other people say that has been happening to them as well. So yeah, glad it's not just me, because that would be kind of weird. Let me know down below if you're pregnant and you've had any embarrassing things happen to you, like what I mentioned, or if in the past during your pregnancies you've had anything embarrassing happen to you, or if I should be prepared as I get further along for more embarrassing things to happen. Yeah, but as far as the weeks go, that's like really it. The only other thing is I did officially have to take out my belly button ring this past weekend. So technically, like, right at the end of week 16, because Saturdays is my transfer over day to the new week. So I don't know if it was technically week 16 or week 17, but I'll just include it in week 16. I had to take my belly button ring out. It was actually physically hurting. The skin around the belly button ring, like where it sits on the ring, was red and like inflamed, and just, it was painful. It was time. I did buy those pregnancy belly rings, like the stretchy ones, but when I tried to put them in like 2 weeks ago, they were like too thick to fit in there, and it hurt. So I thought, well, why am I going to put something in there that's going to stretch it out more? Like, that doesn't make sense. And all it does is bend, so it's not like it's keeping the pressure off of the skin that's stretching. So I thought, forget it. We'll just take it out. If I have to get it re-pierced later on, then fine. So be it. That's what I will do. Yeah. So I did take that out, which is sad, and it is already starting to close up, and it's only been a few days, but oh well. So other than that, I guess the only thing left is just to show you guys my bump, which really hasn't gotten any bigger. Honestly, I have asked my husband like a couple times over the past like week or two, like, do you think that my stomach's getting smaller? Because it kind of feels like it is, but I think that maybe in my head I'm just getting used to it because it's not like really growing any, because I'm not really putting on any weight. So I don't know, but gonna try my best to show you guys. So obviously I'm wearing that maternity tank top. Ooh, the lighting is terrible, sorry guys. So let's see if I can go back any. There is the belly, and then like that. The lighting is so bad, I'm sorry, I'm standing in front of a window. So nothing like really crazy happening. I feel like it's gotten smaller, but like I said, at the same time, maybe I'm just imagining things. So technically, obviously, this is my 17-week bump, but whatever. Yep, and then, like, you guys really can't tell, I don't think, but where my belly ring was. Also, something I just thought about is with my belly growing, my super innie belly button is becoming very close to the surface. I know that a lot of people get outies like during pregnancy and then they say that it goes back in. I'm praying that mine just stays like flush with the surface and then goes back in, because like an outie, and I'm so sorry if this offends anyone, but an outie belly button is like my worst nightmare. I know that's not the worst thing that could happen, but in my head I just feel like I will be so grossed out by it. But it is what it is. I can't stop it. So yeah, I do have a question for you guys. I was watching my stomach the other day to see if I could like even see any movements, and I swear to you that I could see my belly button like moving. Is that possible? Can someone like tell me if you've ever like felt your baby move or seen your stomach move and it was like under your belly button area, like specifically there? Can that happen? Can the baby push there? I don't know. But I would like to know, because otherwise I'm very concerned at why my belly button specifically looked like an alien was moving. But maybe I'm also just crazy. This has been a very long video, but technically it was 2 weeks worth of update. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I apologize. It took me so long to get this video out, and then I had to combine 2 weeks. I swear I will try to be more on top of it. Oh, the last thing is that for my trip coming up, obviously that is still happening. I'm still going to Florida. Now we have some new information from the Coast Guard that instead of me going road tripping from Minnesota to Florida and then from Florida to California, I might now be road tripping from Minnesota to Florida and then Florida to New Jersey instead of flying there for my husband's graduation. And then we might get to drive from New Jersey to California together, which would be really cool. Obviously, I will keep you guys informed. The trip is still coming up. I still need to show you guys what is in my trunk for our essentials. And yeah, but like I said, with me being sick these past 2 weeks, I really haven't done anything except for like lay around and drink water. Like, seriously. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. If you guys haven't yet, you should definitely subscribe so you can get my updates, so that we can talk about things, so that you can tell me if I'm crazy, you know. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.